Okay, we're looking at the third shape in the C box. Remember, CEG, it forms a root 3 5. See, here we have 1 4 5, G, G, 6, G, C, D. Okay, here we have D, G, A. Okay, so, but the in the C box it spells C, E, G. Okay, and also in the E box it goes 1, the fourth of E is A, and the fifth goes to C, so it spells EAC, which is the relative sixth of CEG. So that's one way to remember the 1 4 5 notes. Shapes, those are shapes for the 5 cage shape CAGED. So in the fifth shape here, we do the G shape, and yes, it is the G shape, and by golly, it's right next door. 6 root 2 3 5 6 3 5 6 root, right there. So we could in essence just move the fretboard down, so it's like a fretboard conveyor belt. But when the product gets down this far, it's like we're going backwards on that conveyor belt, and we're taking parts off of it. Okay, so it doesn't have everything that a diatonic one would have if it was in the G shape. So that's a summary there, okay, of that chart, and we've had a class on this chart already. So let's move on. Let's move on in charts here. Okay, so just a little quick word on this. These are the string shapes. These are the string shapes in fifths here. Okay, why do we look at fifths? Hey, wait a minute, I thought you were saying everything was caged. I thought you were saying, let's see, we'll start on a D shape, then we'll go to a C shape, then we'll go to an A shape. Let's see, that's C, A, and then a G shape, and an E shape, C, A, G, E, and then a D shape up here, and then it's octave down here, a D shape down here. I have to give my fingers a break. Well, why is this not encaged? Well, it is if you go backwards in every other letter, right? C, A, G, E, D, C, A, G, E, D. Okay, C, A, okay, stop doing that. So this is just in fifths here because the string shapes, here they are. These are the bottom strings of the cages here. So the C string shape's 3 4 5, the G string shape 6 7 root, the D string shape is 2 3 4, the A string shape is 5 6. This is of the scale. So 3 4 5. Okay, the G is 6 7 root. The D is 2 3 4. This is the key of C, all white keys. 5 6, and then 7 root 2 is the E shape, and then back to 3 4 5 for the C shape. That's all that is. And that is the circle of major diatonic string shapes. And the reason why they're in fifths like that is you could see they just played a diatonic scale. Okay, something like that. I went a little somewhere. I don't know where I ended up in a D. On a D there. Maybe went around to the D. Now let's look at circle of major tritonic string shapes. But before we do that, I just want to show you that I know I should have left it on the screen. The C string shape goes to the G string shape, 6 7 root, goes to the D string shape, 2 3 4, goes to the A string shape, 5 6, goes to the E string shape, 7 root 2, and then 3 4 5. Okay? That's why the string shapes are listed in fifths. They go up in string shape fifths and down counterclockwise in string shape fourths. If we start on the G, we have to start on the G shape up here if we want to stay in the same key. So G would be 6, 7 root, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root. If we want to start on the D, it'd be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4. If we want to start on A, we have to start where the A starts, which is the fifth in the key of C. Here's my G. It'd be I'm going to start on E. Okay, we're going to start here on the 7 because it's 7 root 2. Now we're going to warp up that 5, 6 now. My finger's starting to get to me. So remember, we always have to warp up on that B string. So you play the pattern, but you move the string shape up one fret, and then for the top E string here, you just play it straight on top. Usually is straight on top, except for pattern shape fitting. So pattern shape fitting would be the normal. You would put the D down here. It has a long foot, and then the E has this 7, so it's like a 7 and an L. You see the 7 and the L with the D, A, E pattern. That would be normal pattern fitting. And then we also have to adjust for the tuning difference, the tuning third between the G and the B. So we have to move that string shape up. So normally in the C pattern we'd go 5, 6, 7 root 2. No, we have to move it up. So that 7 is straight over that 5 when we're playing the C, instead of normal shape pattern fitting where the 7 would be off to the left here, forming a major third. That major third has to be, it moves up and it's straight up to a major third, where it's usually straight up to a major fourth. Okay, so let's move along because we've got a lot of ground to cover and we don't want to get caught in the undertow of review. You know what undertows are? That's where the sandbar breaks through and the water, big wave comes over and goes back out to sea. In the break, in like the little sandbar canal there. All right. So now, when we start removing notes on our little D assembly line, we come up with the tritonic string shapes for the major triads. Okay, so this would be the major triad, and then no matter what position we're playing in, the C is always going to have just 3, 5. So that's going to be the doubled string note. That's part of today's lesson. So in the majors, the C string shape, just that simple string shape, 3, 4, 5, is just going to be 3, 5. It's going to be the only string shape that has a doubled note on it. That's going to be important because it adds an inversion to our arpeggio. Okay, when we're playing the C, when we're playing in the C box. Okay, so it's, and then another, so it's root 3, 6. So we start here on first inversion and we end on root. And you know, first inversion is 2 inversions away from root. Okay, whereas normally if the double string wasn't doubled, because top and bottom string are doubled, then we just add 1 inversion. So if we're playing in the A box here, we start 5, 5 root 3, 5 root 3, 5. The 5 root 3 here is second inversion. Add one inversion will be